Welcome to Carly Tackles the Kreg Pocket Hole Jig. I use this jig in many of my projects in a variety of ways. I've also purchased some extra accessories that you can buy separately like I did, or some of them actually come with the pocket hole jig in a system. In this video, I'm going to show you how I use the pocket hole jig and some of my favorite accessories that can really help you out with your projects. When you purchase the pocket hole jig by itself, meaning not in a system, it comes with all of this. You have your manual, your drill bit with a stop collar, your hex wrench or Allen wrench to adjust the stop collar, your driver bit, which it's a number 2 square, plugs for your pocket holes, your drill guide, and then the base. When you're ready to use your pocket hole jig, you need to calibrate it to the thickness of the material you're going to drill the holes in. First, we need to set the stop collar on your drill bit to the correct depth. To do this, it's pretty easy. You have 2 grooves on each side of your stop. Set it in the groove that has your correct thickness. Now, just a little note, when you're determining your thickness of the material, you want to use the actual size, not the nominal size. For example, 2x4 is a nominal size. Its actual thickness is 1.5. To set it to a 2x4, that one's my favorite. You just push it all the way down because 1.5 is the bottom number, and then you just set the collar. But let's say we're doing something like a 3/4 inch material, like a sheet of plywood. How you calibrate that is you pull the drill bit so that the bottom of the bit, not the tip, but the bottom right here, this flat part, is lined up with the 3/4 inch mark. You can kind of see that there. Make sure your stop collar is firmly against this plastic and that the Allen wrench goes right in there, and then you tighten it. And now you have set the depth of your drill bit to 3/4 inch. So that part's done. Next, we need to set the depth using our drill guide. Your drill guide has a bunch of board thicknesses on this side here, and we just slide it in. Make sure your pin back here is loose, and we're going to slide it down to 3/4. And that line's right there. Now, what's really nice about this pin has little holes in the back that it's screwing into, so it helps align you a little bit when you tighten that down. So now I have my drill guide and my drill bit all set to 3/4. The next thing that you can adjust, which I normally adjust on the fly, is your clamp part. So you put in your material and you can clamp it in. You want it to be fairly snug. You don't want it to be loose. You can adjust that by turning this, and then you can use this nut as a stop so it doesn't loosen on you. This one is way too tight. If I loosen it here, you don't want it too loose where you can still move it back and forth. So that's a pretty good fit. So now that you have everything set, you can put this in your power drill and drill your holes in this back part here. Check out the hole placement. You may notice that B and C is really close, but A is way over here. These are spaced strategically to help you out. Say your material is only 1 to 2 inches wide, so a lot smaller than what I have here. You are more likely to use the B and the C port to drill your pocket holes. Say your material is 2 to 3 inches wide. Still smaller than this, but a little bit bigger. You'll use the A and B. Then if your material is 3 to 4 inches wide, you would use your A to C. And if your material is wider than that, that's fine. You can use your best judgment on where you want those holes to be. Super easy. Drill those holes and you are all set. Your pocket hole jig comes with 4 mounting screw holes, so you can mount it to a surface. If you want to be able to move your pocket hole jig around your shop, there's some options for that too. Option 1 is you can buy this Kreg clamp. You can buy this separately, or many of the systems come with one of these. How this would work is you would clamp your pocket hole jig in the back down to your work surface and tighten that clamp. This is how I started with the pocket hole jig. I did notice though this top part would fishtail a little bit, so it may not be the most secure way to do it. Now a second option is to make a jig for your pocket hole jig. Something similar to this, where I have it mounted securely, but I'm also using a T-track system, so I can easily remove this. I can slide it into this workbench and fasten it down. And it's secure, it won't wiggle on me. Or I have another workbench with the same width of T-track, so I can easily move this over there. The other cool thing about this particular workbench is my top is flippable. All I have to do is tighten it down on the workbench piece, and I can flip this upside down, and now I'm storing my pocket hole jig out of the way, and I have a smooth surface. So a lot of different options that you can do with a pocket hole jig. The other benefit of making your own is you can add some what I like to call stabilizers. You notice I have a piece of wood on both sides. When you have something kind of long, you might notice that it wants to move up and down on you. By having these extra stabilizers on each side here, it helps hold that piece from being able to be pushed down or up. I would definitely recommend checking out the video I did on how to make one of these. Very handy. So you do have some mounting options for you with a pocket hole jig. Some of the systems do have something similar to this for support that you can set up on the sides of your pocket hole jig. Let's talk accessories. One of the accessories that I recommend is this portable base. This portable base comes with many of the systems that you can get with the Kreg, or you can purchase it separately like I did. When you have too big a project or too heavy of material and it just doesn't quite fit on your pocket jig, this is where this comes in handy. You can remove your guide and insert it into this portable base. And then you can tighten it down at your dimensions. The same thing that you did on this jig. The cool thing is this has a little lip that you can line it up with your material, and then using one of these clamps that you can get for Kreg, they do come in different thicknesses. This is kind of a smaller one, I think it's 3-inch. You can clamp it down to your work area, and now you can drill your pocket holes in without using your whole jig. They also make something similar to this, kind of like an all-in-one. This is a one drill guide for a single hole that you can go and clamp to any of your materials. It just doesn't have the option for the depth gauge, but it is handy. I don't use this very much, but it came with the system that I purchased. One of my favorite accessories that I use the most, hands down, is this dust collection system that clamps right on the back here, and you can attach your vacuum hose to this. You'd be surprised how much of a mess this pocket hole system can make when you're drilling in that many pocket holes. To remove it, just squeeze in at the sides and it comes right out. You may have trouble with the dust collection hose if you're using the clamp to hold your workspace in. I believe it kind of rubs on this top part here and kind of hits. So this might be only a good option for you if you have it mounted to a jig or a workbench. I want to say this thing runs anywhere between 10 to 15 bucks, but it is by far my favorite accessory that I've ever purchased for the Kreg pocket hole jig system. Keeps your area clean, and it also keeps your drill bit from struggling to drill holes because it's sucking the wood chips out from under it on the other side. Kreg also offers a variety of screws for your pocket holes. The ones that are colored blue in the picture are meant for exterior. The ones that are silver are meant for indoors. They also come in coarse and fine. Coarse is designed for your softwoods and your plywoods, and our fine are meant for your hardwoods. And then they also come in a variety of lengths. To determine your length of screw required, it's as simple as looking it up on this chart that you can find on Kreg's website. Provided your material thickness at the top will tell you the length of screw you need to purchase. There are many projects in which you can use the Kreg pocket hole system to help you bring together two pieces of wood. I've used this on many projects so far this year, including this cornhole stand, some planter boxes that we used in our backyard, and of course a Catio. And it is what it sounds like. It is a outside patio for the cats. All the shelves and internal pieces and even that hammock I attached using the pocket jig system, and I use that portable pocket hole jig because some of those boards are 10 feet long. Coming this summer, I'm going to be building an expansion on the Catio. Thanks for watching Carly Tackles the Kreg Pocket Hole Jig. If you're interested in the jig, systems, and/or accessories, I'll include the links in the video description below. I'll also include the video link to how to make the T-track mount for your pocket hole jig. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. If you'd like to see more videos similar to this and check out some of the projects that I've made using the pocket hole jig, please subscribe to my channel, Carly Tackles DIY, Tools and Gadgets, Tips and Tricks. Make sure you hit that bell to receive notifications when I release new content. Thank you.